There is a second bid from Newcastle for Elanga incoming shortly. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up in today's video, I'll talk you through the latest from this whole Elanga saga, as Newcastle are about to pull out a war chest for 3 players. I'll tell you about a player who's gonna reject us by the sounds of it, and no, it's not Weah, but yes, it's someone close to him. And there's also rumours about Sosa leaving Forest. So if you're enjoying the content, as always, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new to Forest Fan TV, and you've only got until tomorrow to get your tickets for this signed framed Forest shirt, the signed framed Nuno shirt, loads of Insta prize wins as well from football prizes. All you need to do is scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. 99p, and you could get, I mean, I love my signed framed Forest shirt, but you could get that for 99p. Okay, let's jump into the news. And an article was released in the Telegraph from Luke Edwards, and it's the most cryptic, weirdest article I've ever seen, where he's talking about Newcastle's strategy this summer. They got 125 million war chest. They want to get Elanga, they want to get Pedro, and they want to get Trafford as well to strengthen their push into the Champions League. Now, he said a lot of crap in there about Elanga. I'll kind of glaze over the article with you guys because it's quite long and it's quite weird and doesn't all make sense to me. But anyway, Newcastle's triple swoop for João Pedro, James Trafford, and Elanga. You know what? I'm going to be lazy. Let me just go straight to the Elanga bits here. It will make life a lot easier. So Newcastle have made a bid, bids for Brighton forward Pedro, goalkeeper Trafford, and Forest Elanga. Now, what he's saying here, I just want to get to the interesting bit. Let me make it easier there. Newcastle are believed to verbally discuss a bid of around 50 million for Pedro and are willing to pay around the same for Elanga. Newcastle's offer to Trafford is 25 million. We don't care. Negotiations are set to continue with all 3 players, with all 3 targets clubs currently seeking more money for the players, which is us, of course. Now, what it goes on to say is that if Newcastle reach an agreement with Brighton for Pedro before they reach an agreement with Forest for Elanga, it may well mean they drop their interest in the latter and vice versa. Okay, and he's also got in this article that all 3 players want to join Newcastle. Now, I think there's a lot of crap in this article, if I'm being honest. Firstly, I know Elanga doesn't want to join Newcastle. He makes it sound like he's, actively seeking a move to Newcastle. That's not the case with Elanga. We know no players for Forest are for sale, unless the price is right. And we know no players are actively looking to push a move. Obviously, I'm talking about the mainstay players here. Secondly, the fact that he's saying initially that Newcastle want Pedro, Elanga, and Trafford, and then he's contradicting himself saying, well, if they get Pedro, then they're not going to go for Elanga. If they get Elanga, they're not going to go for Pedro. For me, just says he's almost playing to the club's tune. It's almost a PR piece. Why am I saying that? Because I think he's trying to scare Forest or Brighton into thinking, oh, crap. What, you mean if he gets the other player, we're going to miss out on money? Oh, quick, give me the phone. Let me call the Saudis. Quick. How much did you want for Elanga? 45. Make it 40. Make it 40. Just don't go get Pedro. Then you have Brighton on the other phone say, whoa. We'll bring our price down on Pedro. Don't worry. Just please give us the money. So that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this article. There's also other reports saying that Newcastle are looking to put an improved bid in for Elanga as well. And they're talking about 55 million in that bid. Now, I don't yet believe that story to be true. I haven't seen it from any kind of credible enough sources for me to think, okay, here we go. And would 55 be enough anyway? Forest's asking price, if you believe a lot of the credible sources, for Elanga to move is 60 million. And I've seen, I don't know if it's the Newcastle fan base, and shout out to Newcastle fans. Say hi in the comments if you're a Newcastle fan. There's a lot of this stuff saying, well, this is Man U's fault. And it was in the article as well. They spent too much on Cunha. They've raised the bar with Mbeumo being about 55 million. They're forcing the market price on wingers to be higher. If I'm not mistaken, Newcastle bought Gordon for about 50 million, and that was 2 or 3 years ago. Spurs bought Brennan Johnson off us for 48 million. That was a couple of seasons back as well. So to suddenly think that 50 plus million, and I've been consistent with this whole story throughout the summer so far, it's not out of the realms of possibility that 60 is really the benchmark. If you're looking at players like Jono, like Gordon, who went a couple of seasons ago with inflation, with Prem tax, with homegrown tax and all that stuff, 60 isn't that big a deal. That's the going rate. If Newcastle don't want to pay 60 million for Elanga, then go to one of the European leagues, pick a name that is not Prem proven, bring him in for cheaper. That's really where the options lie. And even if they get to 60 million, I'm still not convinced Forest will sell. I think at that stage, Forest will be like, okay, that's an acceptable level. Now you can go and have a chat with Elanga and see what he's saying. So that's what it is. And don't forget as well, the clause for the Man U stuff, 20%. That could be a profit clause, not necessarily a fee clause. What do I mean by that? We paid 15 million for Elanga. If we were to sell him for, let's just say 30 million, the profit on that is 15 million. To Manchester United, we get 20% of the 15, not the 30. Newcastle, you wish 30 million. So that's the story on Elanga. So get your thoughts in on all of that below. Oh, I forgot my graphic earlier. Okay, it's there now. Now let's move on and talk about Mbangula, because there are other reports coming out to suggest that he's having a little change of heart as well. Now, he's not rejecting Forest. What he's doing is he wants to weigh up his options. And one of those options is Bournemouth, apparently. So the reports out on this one are trying to hype up this whole thing like, oh, well, hold on. Samuel Mbangula, he's thinking about Bournemouth. No, they're kind of playing with their words there. This isn't a Tim Weah situation for me, where he's like, nah, I want to play Champions League. I want to stay at Juventus. I think I'm good enough for it. I think you're a scrub, Weah, so go do one as far as I'm concerned. And Mbangula for me is one who's just seeing what's on the table, and I have no issues with that. If I was about to get a new job, and then the competitors of the new company that I was about to join got wind of it, and they were like, "Yo, man, before you make a decision, hear us out. Have a look at the offer." I still have a look at the offer. It doesn't mean I'm going to go for it. And that's where he is at the moment. So there's still talks, there's some rumours that Forest haven't fully agreed the fees with Juventus. It's still, though, circulating that for the two players, it would be 22 to 25 million euros. If Timothy Weah was to collapse, then Mbangula can be looked as a separate transaction. The fee for him is about 8 million euros, about 7 million quid. So not too much at all. So this is still very fluid at the moment. Nothing's concrete on it. As it settles down, we'll let you know what is slowing this whole process down. And this, I agree with, is the Club World Cup. They're still playing in there. Weah's trying to show his worth in that team so that he can convince Tudor, the Juventus manager, that he's good enough to stay and what have you. Cool, you do you, man. You do you and see who you can convince. So we'll keep you posted on this one as it develops. And the other story I want to bring to you is that of Sosa. Now, it's becoming clearer and clearer that Nuno just doesn't fancy Sosa. I don't know if he doesn't like his looks. I don't know if he doesn't like his haircut or what it is, but he just doesn't seem to fancy him. And you've had Palmeiras, who reportedly got very close to signing him earlier on, a couple of weeks back. Forest were agreeing a fee with them, and then Sosa was like, no, I want to stay at Forest. I want to prove my worth. I still think I got a job I can do here. Now, that kind of fizzled out, and there's rumours now, and I stress they are rumours, that Palmeiras haven't given up on him, that basically Sosa's probably getting indications from Nuno that you ain't playing, mate. I don't know why, by the way. I mean, he sees him training. He may see something we haven't seen, because we haven't basically seen him. There are talks that Palmeiras are coming in with a stronger offer. Reports are $16 million on it. How true they are, I don't know. But now the narrative is changing from Sosa, according to these reports, that, you know what, still not convinced about going back to South America. I want to stay in Europe, ideally the Premier League. I want to wait and see what's going on. So there's a lot of rumours, nothing concrete on it enough for me to say, this is where the source is from, this is where it's going. but it looks like Sosa could be on his way if Nuno gets his way, but he might be digging his heels in as well. I kind of like that attitude on it. I know I'm completely contradicting myself with what I've said on Weah, but hey, I don't care because I like what's in the best interest for Forest. So would you keep Sosa or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And guess what? We got Grumpy Old Reds tonight at 8 o'clock, where we'll be discussing Forest Pool, because these rejections are starting to get quite annoying. And it's not like we're talking about Gyökeres here or an Eze or whatever. Some of these players a lot of people haven't heard of. And if they're getting rejected by Forest and we got European football, what the hell is going on? So tune into Grumpy Old Reds tonight, where we will talk it through. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new. And we'll see you tonight on Grumpy Old Reds. Come on, you Reds.